Content warning. This video contains discussion of abuse, grooming, harassment, and criminal cases. Viewer discretion is advised. Disclaimer. The information in this video comes directly from Tiffany, including screenshots, documents, and timelines she provided from her personal records. Before creating this video, we independently fact-checked every part of the information using publicly available court records, divorce filings, official timelines, and verifiable dates. Personal details not relevant to the story have been removed to protect privacy. This video does not accuse any private individual of wrongdoing. All statements reflect Tiffany's documented experience and the evidence she shared with us, which we cross-verified wherever possible. The purpose of this video is to correct misinformation, to provide clarity through verified facts, and to allow Tiffany's true story to be heard after years of false claims and online harassment. Welcome back to Tiffany's story. In part 1, we walked through the rumors about money, the lies people spread, the truth behind the situation, and how that part of her life was twisted and weaponized against her. But that wasn't the story that turned her into a long-term target. This is the one that dragged her name into something far darker, far more painful, and far more distorted than anyone realized. What you're about to hear comes directly from Tiffany herself, her screenshots, her court documents, her timeline, and her lived experience. This isn't speculation. These are her facts, and this is part 2. The truth about her ex-husband, the news story, the impersonation, and the harassment that followed. Section 1. Tiffany was extremely young. To understand this part of Tiffany's past, we have to start with one very important detail. Tiffany was extremely young when she entered this relationship. She was barely an adult, inexperienced, emotionally vulnerable, and trying to build a life long before she truly understood what a healthy relationship should look like. Today, as a grown adult with perspective, Tiffany says she can clearly see things she couldn't see then. In her own words, she now believes she was groomed, emotionally manipulated, and drawn into a situation she wasn't ready for. She didn't understand danger, manipulation, or control. She simply tried to keep a family together because she was young and didn't know any better. This context matters because the lies that were later spread about her completely erase just how young, vulnerable, and unprepared she actually was. Section 2. The moment Tiffany left. At one point in the marriage, Tiffany learned that her husband had been involved in a criminal incident involving inappropriate images of a minor connected to a dating app. Tiffany had nothing to do with this. She did not witness anything directly, and she was not involved in any way. Once she became aware of the situation, Tiffany separated from him immediately. The emotional and physical separation happened right away, even though the legal divorce process took longer, as divorces often do. This is one of the most important parts of her story. Tiffany left because of what she learned, long before the later crimes or the news reports involving other partners. Section 3. The real timeline. Once Tiffany became aware of the criminal incident involving inappropriate images connected to her husband, she separated from him right away. But the internet often twists this part of the story, mixing her timeline with events that happened many years after she was gone. So to make everything clear, here is the accurate timeline as it relates specifically to Tiffany, based on verified documents and publicly available news reports. Timeline. Phase 1. Tiffany's actual relationship with Garrett. This first part is the only period where Tiffany was connected to Garrett. Everything after this point belongs to other partners, other families, and other victims. Not Tiffany. 2001-2002. Tiffany meets Garrett. She is extremely young, vulnerable, impressionable, and easily groomed by an older partner. 2002. They marry. Tiffany builds a family at an age when most people are still figuring out who they are. 2003 to 2005. They have 2 children together. A young mother trying to create a stable home. 2004. Garrett is exposed for illegal images, CP, connected to a dating app. And this is the moment everything changes. Tiffany separates from him immediately. She does not stay. She does not defend him. She does what a protective mother does. She leaves to keep her children safe. 2007. Divorce becomes official. The legal paperwork catches up with the separation. Tiffany is fully out of his life. From this point forward, Tiffany has no involvement in Garrett's life. No partnership. No connection. No shared household. Everything that comes next involves other women, other children, other relationships, other victims. Phase 2. Garrett's life after Tiffany, the part everyone confuses. This is where the lies start. People online took events from years later, crimes, partners, victims, and glued them onto Tiffany's past as if she lived through all of it. But the truth is very different. 2008-2013, Garrett forms new relationships. He has multiple new partners after Tiffany. Baby mama number 2, baby mama number 3, and baby mama number 4. Each partner has children with him. These are not Tiffany's children, not Tiffany's life, and not Tiffany's timeline. 2014. Garrett is convicted of sexual activity with a 16-year-old. This crime involves one of the later partners, not Tiffany. 2017. Garrett rapes a child while babysitting his twins. These twins belong to baby mama number 3. The victim is her other child, not Tiffany's. April 16, 2018. Garrett is arrested for first-degree sexual assault of a child under 12. This is the case that appears in news reports and documentary clips online. It involves baby mama number 4's child, not Tiffany. August 10, 2018. Garrett is sentenced to 40 years. By this point, Tiffany has been separated from him for 14 years and divorced for over a decade. The hands in the news video. In one news report about Garrett's later crimes, this woman is one of Garrett's later partners, not Tiffany. But trolls online claimed, "That's Tiffany." It wasn't. Tiffany even posted a comparison showing her hands next to the clip, and they look nothing alike. We have also listened to the news report over and over. This was not Tiffany's voice, like others claimed. But above everything, the dates do not match up. Section 4. How the lies started. Most of these rumors came from people who didn't know Tiffany's age at the time, didn't know the timeline, and didn't know she left immediately. People made assumptions. Then assumptions turned into accusations. Then accusations turned into full-blown false narratives. And that misinformation opened the door to something far worse. Section 5. The fake him accounts. This next part is where things turn dark. Tiffany wasn't just dealing with rumors. She began receiving messages from accounts pretending to be her ex-husband. Tiffany says she immediately recognized these messages as fake. Her real ex was not contacting her. These were trolls, using his name and his image to terrify her. And worst of all, it didn't stay online. Section 6. The cards sent to her home. Tiffany says she received cards through the mail. Imagine that. You leave someone for your safety, and years later, strangers send things to your home. This wasn't drama. This wasn't gossip. This was targeted harassment designed to scare her. Section 7. The YouTube impersonation problem. But the part that shocked us the most was where the impersonation happened. Tiffany provided screenshots showing these fake accounts active inside certain YouTube creators' live stream chats. Tiffany says she or others warned the creators that the account was fake, but the account wasn't removed. It continued to post. The account was allowed to remain. Tiffany experienced their spaces as places where her harassment was being enabled. These live streams became a platform for impersonation and caused Tiffany and her family a great deal of distress. Her daughter became very unwell mentally, and that put her at risk. Section 8. Tiffany. Tiffany isn't a villain. She isn't the monster people online have tried to paint her as. She was a very young woman who entered a relationship she didn't fully understand, who left as soon as she discovered the truth, and who has spent years being punished for crimes she didn't commit, actions she didn't take. She has disabilities, physically and mentally. She struggles. She tries to be kind. She doesn't take sides in drama. She enjoys being in online communities, where she feels comfortable and can have a laugh. And yet she has faced impersonation, stalking, targeted harassment, and a level of cruelty that no one deserves. Those screenshots are just a small example of the many we have seen. Section 9 Summary. Before finishing this video, we want to make one thing absolutely clear. Everything in this story has been independently fact-checked by us using public court records, verified legal timelines, official documents, news reports, and screenshots Tiffany provided, including her divorce papers and court documents. Tiffany was not the partner involved in the later crimes. Tiffany did not stay with him after discovering the inappropriate images. Tiffany did not appear in the news reports. Every threatening or disturbing message came from troll impersonation accounts. Look out for Tiffany. At the end of the day, everyone watching this video comes from different channels, different circles, and different sides of countless online arguments. Most of us don't agree with each other. Some of us don't even like each other. And that's fine. The online world is full of disagreements. But there is one thing we should all be able to agree on. No one deserves what Tiffany has been put through. Not the lies. Not the rumors. Not the years of harassment. Not the twisting of her history with crimes she had nothing to do with. Not the fake accounts pretending to be her ex. Not the constant fear. Not the humiliation. Not the misidentification. Not the trauma being thrown in her face over and over. Nobody deserves that. Especially someone who has already survived so much. Tiffany is a person with real feelings, real scars, and real experiences that many people could never imagine going through. She is someone who left a dangerous situation when she was still barely an adult, who raised her kids the best she could, who rebuilt her life quietly, only to be dragged into the spotlight for things she never did. She didn't ask to be a topic. She didn't ask to be harassed. She didn't ask to have her past weaponized against her. She just wanted to take part in online chats, watch the streams she enjoys, and be part of a community like everyone else. And now, as more of the truth comes out, we have a chance to do something simple, something human. Be kind. Be a little gentler. Be someone who recognizes that behind a username is a real person who has fought through things that most of us will never have to face. A little kindness goes a long way for someone like Tiffany. Support doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's just choosing not to spread rumors. Sometimes it's correcting misinformation when you see it. Sometimes it's simply standing beside someone who has been targeted for too long. We may not be able to fix the past. We may not be able to undo the years of trolling. But as a community, even a divided one, we can choose to look out for someone who truly deserves peace. And if there's one thing Tiffany deserves after everything she's been through, it's peace. Ending. Before we close this chapter of the story, we want to take a moment to speak directly to someone who has shown remarkable courage throughout the making of this video. Tiffany, thank you. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for opening up about some of the most painful and misunderstood parts of your life. Thank you for allowing us to step into your world and help you set the record straight. Not with anger, not with retaliation, but with honesty, clarity, and truth. You didn't owe anyone your story. You didn't owe anyone explanations, timelines, screenshots, or proof, but you chose to share them anyway, not for attention, not for drama, but simply because you wanted people to finally see you for who you really are, a human being who has survived more than most people ever will. You trusted us to handle your experiences with respect, and that trust means more than you know. You let us bring light to places where lies had been growing for years. You let us help carry some of the weight that should never have been placed on your shoulders to begin with. And for that, truly, thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for your willingness to revisit things you should never have been forced to revisit. Thank you for your bravery, even on days when you didn't feel brave. Thank you for giving us permission to tell your story in a way that honors your truth and protects your dignity. Most of all, thank you for trusting us, trusting JSD to be a voice beside you, to stand with you, to help correct the lies that should have never existed in the first place. Your courage deserves recognition. Your kindness deserves to be returned. And your story deserves to be told with compassion, accuracy, and care. Thank you, Tiffany. You are stronger than you know, and you are not alone anymore. JSD.